It's no secret that a cyclical system of perpetual war fuels the American economy. But what may surprise you is how soon the next one manifests itself. The imperialist cycle, which drives the progression of the United States, starts and finishes with war. The U.S. invades another country, driving domestic production, overthrows its regime, and paves the way for big corporations to establish themselves. They develop oligopolies and decimate local economies. They occupy as long as they like, but once they leave, the soil is stained and golden arches of corporate power are all that remain. A bull market follows. As production increases during international conflict and overconfidence in technological innovation, market investments, and consumerism drive investors to inflate numerous sectors and assets within the market to unsustainable valuations. This stage corresponds to periods like the dot-com boom or the Roaring Twenties. Currently, the United States embraces Phase 2, economic overconfidence. The introduction of AI fuels huge surges in the tech sector, with the S&P 500 achieving a 35% yearly return, far exceeding its 10 to 15% average over the past 2 decades. Yet instability persists, as the Fed actively cuts interest rates by 75 basis points this year and plans further reductions into 2025. These actions foreshadow the end of the stage, as the government intervenes, attempting to prevent the market from inevitably correcting itself and triggering a subsequent recession, such as the Great Depression or the dot-com bubble burst or the Great Recession. The third stage of the cycle addresses economic instability, with government intervention to stabilize a faltering domestic economy. Increased government spending and lower interest rates stimulate consumerism, a cornerstone of the capitalist structure. Regardless, these policies harm big corporations, central and commercial banks, and apply pressure on the infrastructure of the capitalist system. To prevent the collapse of the modern neo-feudalist structure of capitalism, the country turns to imperialism, and the cycle repeats itself. Oh, the infrastructure of my capitalist economy is faltering? Let me just go exploit another country. With Trump's tariffs and fiscal policies outlined in Project 2025, a clear economic crash looms on the near horizon. Key figures like Musk and Vivek, positioned in influential roles, signal an intent to run the United States like a large corporation. And their first order of business? Downsizing, dismantling multiple government bureaus and agencies. In a nation where countless households live paycheck to paycheck, the fiscal policies of Project 2025 will drag the economy downward, and the country will turn to war as the recovery strategy. The United States is actively engaged in proxy wars, driven by the need to protect its economic sphere of influence across the globe. The military-industrial complex channels billions of dollars annually to support Israel's assault in Palestine, while corporations like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and Boeing profit enormously from arms contracts, with the U.S. serving as Ukraine's primary military backer. And in Taiwan, which produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors, critical pieces for modern technology, the U.S. bolsters its military presence in the Indo-Pacific region and imposes restrictions on Chinese tech companies to maintain its strategic dominance. Across the globe, corporate economic gain takes priority over humanity, perpetuating a cycle of instability where resource conflicts shape the lives of millions and fuel further global unrest. In our modern neo-feudalist society, executive systems and elected officials no longer shape decisions or advocate for the people who voted for them. Instead, banks, corporations, and capitalist structures steer the country towards imperialism. One could argue that we are already at war, an economic Cold War, a standoff for domination between international corporations. It's only a matter of time until this conflict inevitably spills into bloodshed.